Hello, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I just wanted to give you an update on my Mimas world. I got my Deepminers up and running. I'm sorting iron, copper, gold, and coal. And I'm doing the dump the rest into the pit thing and sort through it. It only takes a couple seconds. Saves me a lot of space. You don't need these very often. And when I get them, I just, I stack them up. In other words, I just lean over and pick them up. There's 49. Here's a perfect example I can show you. So when I get 50, I just run back to my automated arc furnace and chuck them in there. So I did just rip out my furnace, by the way, because I was running some pipe here. It was in the way. So I do have a furnace. It's just hidden in that folder, or in the locker. And there's only 25, so if there's only, oh, there's one. If there's only 25 or less than 50, I just drop it back in there until I get 50. I am going to do something with this. I think I'm going to set up a sorting system here of some kind. But this only takes a couple of seconds, and I only have to do it every once in a while when the pit starts getting full. So again, this is I'm still hooked up to the solid fuel generator. I seem to be maintaining 150 coal in reserve pretty consistently at this point. That's going to change when I add more power drains to my base here, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. I am going to do some alternative power stuff in the future, but I'm not to that point yet. I got to label these pipes, but I got my oxygen going into the base, my carbon going into the base, CO2, and my nitrogen going into the base. And then I got my air overflow going back into the filters. This is my standard loop. I probably haven't reached pressure yet. Oh, I have. So this is the air that's coming out now, going back into the filters. So that's good because my oxygen actually my CO2 surprisingly, yeah, I'm going to have to hook the furnace up and burn a little bit. I did keep the CO2 a little high. I could turn that down, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is the outside, pretty standard setup. I like the automated Deepminers. It just runs, and once it does all the dirty ores, it cycles everything, and then I get my completed ores. Might have hooked something up. Oh, it's doing gold. That takes forever. They just pile up here. Eventually I'm going to shoot them into the building somehow with this, a row of chutes. But that's the outside. I don't have to do much mining anymore now that I got the Deepminers up. Obviously I still have to do for oxides and stuff. But I haven't expanded my room yet because I've been doing some work in here. Pressed it up a little bit. I got a lot more of that to go. Alright, let's take a quick look inside. Got my storage section up. It's all hooked up, so it drains my CO2 out and recharges the batteries, refills the oxygen, does all that automatically. Okay, so again, here's let me turn my lamp on. This is something a little different than I've done in the past. This is my nitrogen feed, my CO2 feed, which is currently on. That's why it's low. I actually, I'll show you the ratios in a minute. And my oxygen feed, which is on. And I have reached 90 psi, so it is circling back out. The reason these two are still on is I have my gas sensor I'll show you this real quick. And I could change these ratios. These are just ones that pull out of my head real quick. I wrote this program where I read the nitrogen, oxygen, and CO2 levels from the gas sensor, and this is what I can change. If the oxygen is at 75%, I have it turn it off, and if not, it turns it on. That's why it's on now, because it's about 72. And then the CO2 I have for 20, and that's 20%. That's for when I get plants. And nitrogen I have set for 5%. So that's why nitrogen's not running. Actually, that probably won't ever come on, because when I make water in the ice machine, it kicks out nitrogen. So that may never come on. But that's the system I have. You check the O2 level, turn it on. If it's above 0.75, kick it down here to oxygen off and turn it off, and go back to CO2 level. So it just cycles through all this. And it's working really good. I worked on the first try. Plug that back in. Okay. I did make this my machine room, my manufacturing center. I'm going to connect, this is my junk corner right now, and my ores. I am going to connect these with chutes and write some kind of program so I don't have to keep taking them out of one and putting them in the other. That gets kind of old. Some spare lamps. That should go over there. And some spare pipes. I was just getting ready to do cladding. I don't know what color I want to make it. White's too plain. I'm going to have to play with that. Again, I'm colorblind, so if you have any suggestions for the cladding, let me know. I'm not sure if I like the grading like this or not. Yeah, I'll have to paint it maybe. That'll help. But you know, I kept it this way for the passageway and the other way for the rooms, and I'm not sure if I like that or not. I wonder if I could paint these two different colors. That would be cool. But that's pretty much it. I got just amazingly, coming from Venus, I can't believe how much oxygen I have left. I hardly had to do anything with my oxygen. So goals for the next episode. I'm going to open my blast doors, set my furnace back out there first because I'm going to need some more air. Put a room on the other side. I'm going to add a greenhouse, and I'm going to add a phase change room, because as you can see, it's a bit warm in here. Cooling is kind of difficult because everything's in a vacuum, so I'm going to attempt phase change cooling and make like a cold room or something and cycle air through it when I need to cool the room down with vents and stuff. I have to play with that in my head yet. But, everything's coming along. I'm enjoying this base much more than my last one. Kind of taking my time with this one after the last one. It was Venus. That was just not fun. I don't know. I'm never doing that again. But everything's working real well out here. It is kind of a pain in a way that this is a vacuum. Still got 150, that's good. All my temperatures are good except for my CO2, and that's what's warming. Now it's empty. But that's what's warming my room up, so I do have to make some more CO2. Maybe with a furnace, but that's really going to heat everything up. To think about that. I could do more. I probably could do more oxygen. I got some in my hand, actually. Yeah, I could. Nope, that makes nitrogen. That doesn't make CO2. Oh, look at the ores. Woohoo! 4 Dwarf stacks. Dwarf stacks of 50. I'll take them in and throw them in there. And there should be about ready to dump again, I think. 13 more. I run everything off of this one. And when this one gets done, I have it shut them all off. And I found out that these weren't completely empty, so I have it set on a delay timer. It looks like this one might not have emptied completely the last time, because it's got 50 iron in it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. How much more do I got? 11. That's kind of a long wait for you guys. But if I have to increase that, every time I've come out here and checked, they've been empty, so I'm not sure why I got 50 iron in there. I mean, dump it all at once, but I have the delay set over here, so I may have to increase the delay in there. And that's actually pretty easy to do. Somewhere's my toolbox. It's up here. Oh, I left my computer inside. Basically, I just do a loop. I set R10 to... You know what the problem is? I think I just figured out, I just thought about it. I just remember what the problem is. I did not reset R10. I have to reset R10. I have to add one line of code in here for this to work. Ooh. Okay then. Pull that. Make sure I hit import. That's the wrong one. Dadgummit. It's over here. Make sure I hit import. There we go. Okay. See, I have R10 delayed just loops until this gets to 2000, but I never reset R10 to 0. So we have to go back up here to start. I guess I could do subtract R10, R10, R10. So subtract, so if it's 2000, subtract 2000 from 2000 and save it to R10, which will reset it to 0. That'll work. Export. So that'll reset R10. That's why that wasn't completely empty. So this should just about be done. Let me hang around. I think I showed you all of this the last time, and I know a couple other people have already done the automated Deepminers. I turned one of them off because I was getting a backup. I still got a backup, so one miner seems to run 3 centrifuges pretty well, and I'm getting a lot of ore. Can always add a centrifuge if I start getting low on coal. So far I'm okay. This should just about be done. Okay, it's going to run until it gets to 50 total regions. So 23, 31, 37, 41, 42, so it's got a couple more to go yet. 32, 38, 42, 43, 45. So 1 or 2 more. It's hard to add when it's changing as you're adding it. I think this will be it this time. Once this one finishes, everything should pop open here. There we go. So now all three of them are going to spin down, and it might not all unload this time because it hasn't gone back to start yet. It hasn't really set R10 to 0, so I may have to, well, I could just let it go, because next time it'll work fine. Okay, it's always kind of fun to watch all the words go through the cycler here. There we go. Let this one dump all the way. It looks like this. It looks like it did reset. It probably did that because I plugged it in. Yeah. When I took it out and plugged it back in. So that's just the delay happening right now. And maybe now that that's recounting, I can cut that delay. Oh, that wasn't bad. So now they are started back up again. Yeah, that was a good delay. And I probably have some more in here to process now. Okay. Again, maybe you won't Salt Gamer. Let me know what you think. Having a lot of fun on Mimas. It's a pretty cool world. I'm looking forward to expanding my base and making it better. But at this point, I'm ready for a greenhouse, and I'm going to play with phase change, and I may do both of those tomorrow, and that'll be in tomorrow's episode. If I get phase change done, we'll see. Alright, you have a good day. If you find these fun, subscribe and like, and I'll see you tomorrow.